also really, so you're gonna get 2 hours in this game.
Yeah, it's very exciting. You know, we have these big baller challenge games here in Lithuania, here in Prienu, and the big prospects, the Ball brothers, taking their first steps in professional basketball. Also, maybe competing in the Lithuanian Basketball League, LKL, as well with Vytautas Prienu Birštonas team. This is the first game for them, actually. They had some training sessions with the team, with the whole veterans. They took them quite nicely, as we spoke with them previously, and, you know, hopefully it's going to be a great debut. But, you know, it's never easy for a player from the United States to come to Europe and start playing very good basketball, because it's a little bit different. We have different rules. The court is different. The paint is smaller, and it will take some time for them to adjust. But today we're going to see their first steps.
Yeah, sure. We're going to talk about the rules here in Europe. We're going to talk about the differences between European basketball and American basketball for sure. We're going to talk a lot about things, and we're going to talk about for the upcoming few weeks, because, as my colleague said, we're going to have more of the Big Baller Brand Challenge games. And right now, let's see some footage from the United States of America. We're going to see LaMelo and LiAngelo playing for high school. And we're going to remember how they did in Chino High School. So let's go to that footage, all right?
Give it up for LiAngelo. Home. So I'm sure you enjoyed that compilation of high school plays of LaMelo and LiAngelo, Ball family brothers. But today you're gonna see another place. You're gonna see them playing live here in Prienu town. And I don't know if you can see, but the whole arena is crowded here today.
Yeah, the crowd is here ready for the game. You know, the actual arena is packed, and now you can hear the interviews of LiAngelo and LaMelo.
So we are here in Prienu, and today we're going to talk to Jello first. So Jello, this is your first professional basketball game in Europe. How do you feel before the game?
I feel great. I'm ready to go out there and get it started, and I hope we have a good one.
We had some practices with Vytautas, Prienu Birštonas team. How do you like your teammates?
I love my teammates. They're great guys. They're always helping me in practice, and I'm looking forward to getting started with them.
You made some friends already?
Yeah, already.
Do you know anything about your opponents today, Zalgiris Kaunas junior team?
Say again?
Do you know anything about your opponents today, Zalgiris Kaunas junior team?
No, I don't.
So you're looking forward in all for this match, yeah?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, thank you, Jello. Melo, this is your first professional basketball game here in Europe. How do you feel before the game?
I feel great. We're going to try to get this W.
How do you like your new teammates in Vytautas team?
Yeah, there's some great people, good teammates. Yeah.
Did you make any friends in your new team?
Yeah, we all friends on the team. We all get along. They all speak English too.
Yeah. Did the coaching staff told you before the game what are your tasks in this upcoming game?
Play the 1 and 2, get out, run.
All right, so thank you, Melo. Thank you. So once again, labas vakaras, or good evening, as I would say in Lithuania. Remember that word, because for the next upcoming few weeks, we're gonna say that word a lot in Lithuanian and in English languages. Welcome to Prienu one more time. Prienu is a town in Lithuania. Lithuania is a country in Europe, if you didn't know that. But I'm sure you know that because Ball family is here in Lithuania, here in Europe, and they've been a great sensation here. They caused a lot of sensation, and today we're going to talk about a few things before this first game of Triple B Challenge game. And my colleague Rytis Vyšniauskas is going to present some rule differences between US basketball and European basketball.
Well, basically, for those of you who've been watching the Olympic Games, the United States basketball team in the Olympics, you probably know the rules, the differences. But in general, in Europe, the basketball is a little bit different. First of all, there is no defensive or offensive interference. You can tip the ball once it's over the rim. There is no defensive 3-second violation. 5 fouls to foul out instead of 6 as you have it in the NBA in the United States. 4 quarters, 4 10-minute quarters are being played here, overtime of 5 minutes if needed. And obviously something that you will notice during the game, that the court is a little bit smaller, the painted area is a little bit more narrow, and you know, the basketball itself is different. It's less isolation basketball, less one-on-one basketball. It is based on pick and roll, pick and pop, ball movement, and good spacing.
Yeah, there are some other differences. I mean, in terms of very detailed differences, like a timeout, amount of timeouts that one coach has in one half or another. In one half, one head coach have 2 timeouts. In another, one coach has 3 timeouts. And today, we're gonna see a lot of those timeouts, I think, because the arena wants to see some show during the timeouts as well. Maybe LeVar Ball it's himself gonna put on some show today. And you see the starting fives of both teams. We saw Zalgiris Kaunas junior team starting 5, and we see the starting 5 of Vytautas Prienu Birštonas team, and we see the Liangelo Ball for the first time in his career as a professional player in first starting 5.
Yes, he is in the starting lineup. This is an exhibition game, obviously, but they are registered for the Lithuanian Basketball League, for the LKL, as we call it. This is where the top teams play in Lithuania, and Zalgiris, the opposition today, actually is the biggest powerhouse in Lithuanian basketball. But they are playing the junior team today, a Zalgiris junior team, which will compete in the Junior EuroLeague tournament, and we will see some actual prospects, Lithuanian prospects here, facing Liangelo and Lamelo as well. This is the head coach of the Zalgiris junior team. It's Tomas Masiulis. He is a 5-time Lithuanian champion. He is also a EuroLeague champion in 1999, and he has an assistant, Vytautas, who also played for the Zalgiris team. So this is a big club, the biggest club we have in Lithuania. And in offense, and now he plays a sweet pick and roll, dishes an assist to Regimantas Miniotas, and Martynas Arlauskas actually had some minutes in EuroLeague this season already, so I think this is a great test for Liangelo Ball.
And let's remember this guy, number 13, Rokas Jokubaitis, who already has played in under-19 Lithuania basketball team while he was 16 years of age. So he's a huge prospect as well, and he's a point guard position player, but as we saw, his first touches with the ball were not successful, and Vytautas collects the ball.
I think this is going to be a pretty fun competition. You know, Vytautas have some veterans on their team. They probably have some more muscles, more experience, but at the same time, these young guys of Zalgiris, they're hungry. Yeah. And they want to prove themselves, especially playing now in front of all these people.
And Zalgiris Kaunas junior team is a fast-paced team. They're playing a fast basketball, and they're planning to play that fast basketball in EuroLeague Junior tournament, in qualification of EuroLeague Junior tournament, because the main competition gonna be held during the EuroLeague Final Four in Serbia and Belgrade. So they're competing for the spot in that main competition in 2 weeks' time.
The first foul was called on Regimantas Miniotas of Vytautas.
Rokas Jokubaitis drives inside, and he scores 2-point shot.
This is the captain of the Zalgiris junior team, and this is the guy you will probably see on a bigger stage eventually, because he's really talented, a great point guard with a great sense of where his teammates are, playing pick and roll and stuff like that. And there is a drive to the basket by Regimantas Miniotas, actually a former player of Zalgiris, and he is fouled.
Yeah, the former player of Zalgiris Kaunas second team. There is one more former player of this team. It's Tomas Dimša, but he's on the bench right now. And Vytautas organizes one more possession. Miniotas from downtown. He misses, and the ball is collected by Zalgiris Kaunas junior team.
Vytautas have been struggling this season in the Lithuanian league, and hopefully all this attention and the arrival of the Ball brothers will help the team to cope, because they are in the last place and they want to compete for the playoff spot.
But you know, Rytis, we saw some bad effects of that, the whole attention, the whole reality show thing in Vytautas game. Just a couple of days ago, Vytautas lost by 57 points margin to Lietuvos Rytas Vilnius, so far a third team in Lithuania Basketball League. And in that game, Vytautas looked just tragic.
And pretty good defense this time from Liangelo Ball against Erikas Venskus.
Erikas Venskus is one hell of a player. He's a big guy, and he can play a good pick and roll, especially with a point guard like Rokas Jokubaitis, who can dish a good assist to him.
So far, Liangelo had some battles in the paint, but not too much action on the offensive end.
Yeah, so far not so good for the older brother of Lamelo.
Denis Lukashov, the Ukrainian international player, with some good defense. And Vytautas with the possession.
Yeah, Vytautas has the ball.
Now Liangelo against Arlauskas, a fadeaway.
A very difficult shot by Jello.
Well, you know, I think there will be some tension. This is their first game, probably a little bit nervous before the tip. And another thing, it takes a while for experienced players from the States to adjust to European basketball. And now we're talking about young teenagers who came here just recently. It will take some time, and you shouldn't expect miracles in the very first game, but I'm sure we will see some positivity as well. Justas Sinica, he's the sharpshooter of the Vytautas team, and he misses.
Erikas Venskus just before scored the first three of this game. Arlauskas. Rokas Jokubaitis has the ball. 4 minutes have passed in this first quarter of the game. 10 seconds to the shot clock. Downs.
Great step back, but he just misses the free.
Kachavas.
A lot of unsuccessful possessions so far.
Liangelo.
Liangelo.
Now good. And once again, Zalgiris Kaunas junior team is trying to play fast basketball. Vytautas stops the possession.
Great defense by Liangelo once again, protecting the rim. And that's a fast break. That's how you turn a turnover into points.
And that's how Virginijus Šeškus, the head coach of Vytautas Prienai Birštonas, wants his team to play. And this is how they play in Lithuania Basketball League.
Vytautas play a very simple basketball. They don't have any difficult schemes on offense. They're a perimeter team with a lot of shooters. And once again, Liangelo contesting the shot. So far, I like how Liangelo Ball is working on the defensive end.
I don't know, Rytis, if you knew that fact, but Virginijus Šeškus once told that I played like warriors before it was cool.
And indeed he does, actually. The small ball, I think, was invented here in Prienai. They used to play without a center, like, I don't know, before Steph Curry even started his NBA career.
Yeah, of course. So Virginijus Šeškus is a masterpiece of basketball. We can call him like that.
And Liangelo Ball at the free throw line had a pretty good chance to make an end one play, but he will settle for a couple of free throws.
So are we going to see first points by Liangelo? Yes, it is. So first professional point by Liangelo Ball. I've heard that his work ethic in practices were great, and the teammates love both Liangelo and LaMelo in terms like of relationship and talking to them conversational-wise. And we see that Melo Ball is preparing to step on the court as well.
Meanwhile, the Zalgiris junior team playing a pick and roll. Jakubaitis reading the defense and sweet layup with the left hand.
As I mentioned before, he doesn't afraid to play against older guys. He played in Lithuania under-19 basketball team, and he used to score 10 points in the game. Minutas.
Liangelo wants the ball. Linkevičius feeds him in the post.
Arlauskas is against him in defense. Minutas from three. It's a three-pointer.
Great spacing, great ball movement. Everyone's involved.
And the score is tied. Jakubaitis. A nice screen, but for no use. Arlauskas tries to drive inside. No luck, and there's a missed shot.
An open shot, and it's an air ball by Modestas Kancleris.
And LaMelo Ball is on the court.
The crowd is just going crazy.
Prienai just love Ball brothers, the whole Ball family, and the town itself looks like one of the biggest towns right now because of the whole attention from media and from regular people.
I think this is the best thing that has happened to Vytautas so far this season. They have been losing a lot of games in the Lithuanian League, and here is Melo showing his range. He does have range, we all know that. He's a streaky shooter, even though his release might look awkward at some times, but he is a good shooter.
Yeah, his shooting technique is quite weird, but he can score. He can score the basket.
Now Jakubaitis once again aggressive on the offensive end, and he draws the foul. It's a second team foul for Vytautas.
We see a big rotation of Zalgiris Kaunas junior team. Coach Tomas Masiulis wants to use all of his players today in this game. He just spoke to me before the game, and he mentioned that they're gonna play hard and they're gonna use all of these players.
And now we see a 7-footer, actually. It's Volodymyr Markovetsky from Ukraine.
Yeah, one more Ukrainian player.
That's a giant, the tallest player they have on the roster.
And he's been living in Lithuania for 3 or 4 years. He's been speaking decent Lithuanian. He can understand, as he mentioned last year, 90% of Lithuanian language. And he tries to improve language skills as well as his basketball skills.
Now you guys watching on Facebook probably noticed the number 13, Jakubaitis, who just made a couple of freebies. This guy has game. He's a baller.
Yeah, and he has 6 points already out of his team's 11.
LaMelo
passes the ball to Minutas. Minutas misses.
Minutas is a pretty good stretch four, a power forward. Loves to shoot from downtown.
Jakubaitis again controls the offense. Arnas Adomavičius. Not the best pass. Adomavičius tries to save this possession, and he makes the three. Three-point shot by Arnas Adomavičius. 49, that's the score right now.
And LaMelo on the fast break. That's a strong finish to the hoop.
Nice body control against the taller opponent. And LaMelo, as his brother Liangelo, has an opportunity to score from the line.
Jokubaitis, the main guy for Zalgiris junior team, goes to the bench. He is replaced by Nojus Pankratievas, their second point guard.
And it's going to be interesting how will Zalgiris junior team will look on the court without Rokas Jokubaitis, the main guy so far on the team.
I think all this attention that is drawn to this game, it is good not only for LaMelo and Liangelo, it's also good for these young prospects from Zalgiris team. These guys are 17, 18 years old. The game is being watched by scouts all over the world. If they show up good in this game, who knows what the future might bring.
I think Rokas Jokubaitis has already got some good scouting reports from the first 8 minutes of the game.
And LaMelo scored his first professional point.
Arnas Adomaitis once again with the ball. He passes to Nedas Kancleris. Nojus Pankratievas, number 8. He tries to save possession and he gets blocked.
I think they should feed the big guy, the big fella, and this is fast break LaMelo!
That's the fast break in Triple B manner.
Now talking about Zalgiris junior team, it's kind of strange they are not feeding the big guy. They could give the ball in the post. Now, after the switch, he has Tomas Dimša, the shooting guard, against him, and finally, there's the pass, but it's not good enough.
Zalgiris Kaunas junior team has the size, but does not have strong abilities. These fellas are still young, they lack some physical abilities. So this is what Vytautas tried to use in their defense, some physicality against younger opponents.
Vytautas playing small ball, and I do expect to see the Zalgiris junior team feeding the 7-footer.
Well,
LaMelo ball.
Well, the reason Vytautas playing small ball, they don't have any centers yet right now on the team. And there's another three. Well, actually, Vytautas just got a new guy on the team. It's Kevin Bristol, US native, and he's gonna join the team in the nearest days, but not today, unfortunately for Vytautas team.
In the previous position, we saw LaMelo dishing the assist. Justas Sinica, he's a very good shooter. He made a free, the corner free, and there's the answer from Arnas Adomaitis, driving to the basket. Once again, crazy pace.
And this is Justas Sinica, a veteran player from Vytautas team. He just puts Vytautas on the lead, 17-16.
Gediminas Maceina, another veteran, is going to enter the game to play point guard for Vytautas.
Nojus Pankratievas with the ball. He has spent the beginning of the season in Jonava team, and he gets blocked. Tomas Dimša in a fast break. LaMelo! He scores almost a dunk. That is a two-pointer anyway.
Once again, a beautiful fast break.
Tomas Dimša, former Zalgiris Kaunas second team member.
And the first team as well. He played in the EuroLeague. He actually played in a Hoop Summit camp with Andrew Wiggins and some other top players from the NBA right now.
Pankratievas from three, a very deep three, but he misses. Mirotas once again wants to run the fast break. 1 second left. And no good. Linkachis tried to finish this quarter on a high note, but the score after first 10 minutes of play is 19-16 for Vytautas. You see the bench of Vytautas team, and now you see the first highlights from this game. We saw some pretty nice moves by both teams. We saw a nice bucket by LaMelo Ball in a fast break, and there's Vytautas possession, good possession for Vytautas team. Rokas Jokubaitis, number 13 from Zalgiris Kaunas junior team. He has been a star in his team. He scored 6 points already. 5 added Arnas Adomaitis. In Vytautas team, Mirotas scored 5 points. LaMelo Ball scored 3 points, and Liangelo or Jello Ball, as you like, scored 2 points.
I do see some of you guys are actually impressed by the level of basketball, which is nice to hear for us Lithuanians. Actually, the game has been fun to watch so far. It's like we said, it's very quick pace, a lot of fast breaks, a lot of hungry young players here.
But we can say that Melo looks good on the court.
Yeah.
Liangelo, at some point, he looked like he got lost into the game.
Well, I mean, I think Liangelo was pretty good on defense, first of all. He's more prepared physically. There was some contact attacking him in the post, and I think he took it pretty well. And LaMelo is just enjoying the game. You see the over-the-back pass and everything, finishing the fast break. Very good first experience so far for the Ball brothers.
So 3-point lead for hosts Vytautas Prienai Birštonas basketball team. And the crowd just loved the basketball so far. Well, as we mentioned before, Vytautas struggled in the first part of Lithuania Basketball League. They started the season with the 0-7 record, and now they have only 4 victories after 18 games. Rokas Jokubaitis is once again back on the court.
Zalgiris really struggled without him. When he was on the bench, I think they lost the lead at that point. And once again, there he is.
It was a goaltending, so Rokas Jokubaitis will have his 2 points.
To explain a little bit the rule, like we said, there is no offensive or defensive interference, but you cannot push the ball from the net.
Yeah.
You can tip it off the rim. So the basket counts, and it's a 1-point lead to Vytautas.
Tomas Dimša, some double defense against him, and it worked for Zalgiris Kaunas junior team. Nice defense by Tomas Masiulis, the head coach of Zalgiris Kaunas, that he prepared with his coaching staff. So Zalgiris Kaunas junior team controls the board after the first quarter, 12-8 in terms of rebounds. This is Erikas Venskus, one of the better guys from this team. He tries to score with one in the hand, and it's nice.
That's a nice hook shot.
He's improving, and he just made his debut in 2nd division of Lithuanian Basketball League, and that debut is so far still good.
It's a foul on number 18, Edas Kancleris. I think that the head coach of Zalgiris junior team, Tomas Masiulis, sees the biggest problem so far, the turnovers. Because Vytautas is scoring from turnovers, 8 fast break points in the first quarter, and basically there is the transition defense is not good enough for Zalgiris.
And as we see, Vytautas tries to score from downtown, but so far the percentage is not that great, 20% after first quarter. And Minnetas just make it worse in terms of percentage. He misses.
But we do see LaMelo involving his teammates. This time LaMelo is a little bit late on defense, but on the offensive end, he's involving his teammates, playing pick and roll, pick and pop, creating chances. And this time the fast break is stopped.
As we say in Lithuania, Minnetas just climbed the tree.
It doesn't really sound well in English, but yeah, we do have the saying like that.
This is the saying, so don't judge us. Rokas Jokubaitis against LaMelo Ball. A pretty nice rivalry between these two guys. Erikas Venskus once again against Regimantas Minnetas, and there's LaMelo Ball with a steal.
Double defense that time.
Oh!
Minnetas was not ready for that.
That should have been a nice pass by Melo, but Minnetas just didn't look at his teammate.
And he looks a little bit tired. Asked for a substitution, and it's Justas Sinica checking back. He started the game.
Minnetas is tired for obvious reasons. He's the only big guy on Vytautas' team. Vytautas desperately needs addition, and that addition will arrive, as I mentioned before. Arlauskas.
Miscommunication on the defensive end, and an easy bucket for Edas Kancleris. They're putting some pressure on LaMelo. It's a turnover.
Fast break, and there's another 2 by Laurynas Vaištaras. 24-19, that's the score, and Zalgiris takes the lead.
You have to be prepared for that, because you do see a lot more full court press in European basketball than in the NBA. In the NBA, it's usually in the 4th quarter. In Europe, most of the teams use it even in the first half. Oh.
Arlauskas, and a nice dunk by Martynas Arlauskas.
And that was the lazy pass by Vytautas. They're losing the quarter 10-0.
26-19, and Zalgiris has started off this quarter with a nice and full pressure defense. Melo.
Oh.
Nice drive inside.
And one. Nice finish.
Nice drive inside. With opponent's foul once again. Just look at his drive, and Melo does the jazz in this offense.
Virginijus Šeškus did not take a timeout, although it looked like Vytautas is in trouble. Now after this play...
But he trusts Melo.
Yeah, after this play it's better. They are down by 4.
And Melo is the best scorer in Vytautas' team so far. He has scored 6 points already.
Martynas Arlauskas.
Oh, Tomas Dimša knew where the ball is gonna be.
Well, that was a very risky pass, and that's a one-man fast break.
Almost a poster dunk, but to no success, though Tomas Dimša has the opportunity to go to the line.
And there is a timeout. Tomas Masiulis, the head coach of the Zalgiris junior team, takes a timeout now. Zalgiris leading by 4.
And I sure hope you saw some beautiful Lithuanian girls. And there's some discussion between Vytautas players. As Melo mentioned before the game, his teammates understands English and he can communicate with them. I saw when Melo raced for the entry to this game, Virginijus Šeškus told him something, and there's Lavaro Ball enjoying the show.
I do see some people here on Facebook leaving comments that this is not very high-level basketball. Well, you know, this is the junior team of Zalgiris, and they haven't actually played together so much. We do see some turnovers, some maybe bad passes, bad decisions, but it's all natural. It's an exhibition game, and you would see I think we will probably see a different game when a team from the National Basketball League arrives here. I'm talking about Šakių Vytis.
Yes.
For example, they do have a team which started the season in a pretty good season so far. And this time it's a junior team.
And on this Saturday, we're going to see the Lithuanian Basketball League game between Vytautas and Lietkabelis Panevėžys, the second best team of the last season in Lithuania. So the level of that basketball is going to be even higher. And this is junior team. Most of the guys are 16 years of age or 17 years of age. No one is older than 17 years of age, and this team is going to compete at the qualification of Junior EuroLeague tournament on the 19th and 21st of January.
Tomas Dimša at the free throw line. Both Ball brothers are on the court.
Yeah, for the first time in this game, actually. Melo and Jello on the court in 1-5. Tomas Dimša cuts the deficit to 2 points. Rokas Jokubaitis feels some pressure from Melo. He wants to show off his defense skills as well. Jokubaitis passes to Vaishtaras. Vaishtaras looks for an open look near the basket, but he misses. And there's Vaishtaras with a nice defense.
LaMelo mishandles the ball.
There's a steal.
And again, like I said, you have to be prepared. It's never easy to actually get to the other half of the court.
Yeah, Melo just needs to adapt to this defense. Rokas Jokubaitis once again. He scores and he has double digits.
An American football pass. Not sure if it was needed. It's a little bit risky, and there's a turnover.
So Zalgiris still has the lead. 4-point lead for Zalgiris Kaunas juniors.
As we discussed before the broadcast, there is not a lot of isolation one-on-one basketball, so team defense is extremely important. And you have to communicate all the time, you have to switch, you have to go to the open guy, and this time obviously we saw a one-on-one play, and it was a beautiful spin move, and there's Liangelo.
His first basket in this game. Earlier we saw him making 2 points from the line, and now the first basket, 30-26. Yeah, the help in defense is very important, very crucial.
Aggressive defense that time from Liangelo Ball.
And some help from his teammates as well. Almost a steal. That one, Rokas Jokubaitis from 3, is not good.
It's a foul. LaMelo was holding the number 18, Nedas Kancleris.
And LaMelo gets the 3rd foul. If he gets 5, he will be out of the game.
And the coach sends him to the bench with 3 fouls. I think LaMelo Ball showed some pretty good moves on the offensive end, struggled a little bit on defense, but again, that's natural. You can expect that, and it's a new world for him. It will take some time to adjust. That's a foul this time by Liangelo Ball.
And his court vision has been creative as well. Just some bad misses, bad passes because of that miscommunication that we talked about.
For Liangelo, it's the first personal foul.
And at this point, when one player has 3 fouls in the first half of the game, coaches usually save those players for the second half. We have like 5 minutes down to the second quarter time, so it's a low risk for Virginijus Šeškus not to make Melo on the court again. So he's gonna save his player number 3, LaMelo, on the bench for the second half. Liangelo from 3. No good.
Lukashov with the offensive rebound.
Sinica. Now that's Kancleris against him. Vytautas Šeškus, the son of the head coach. 3 seconds left. Nice pass. Sinica with an open look. No good.
Sinica had some post game, but in general, he's a better shooter than a big guy playing in the paint. And now Vytautas playing actually with 4 guards and 1 power forward.
Nice steal by Vytautas Šeškus, but he steps out of bounds.
No, actually the ball left the court after the touch from Martynas Arlauskas, so
yeah.
Vytautas with the possession.
Once again, Zalgiris Kaunas junior team is controlling the board. That's one of the main factors why Zalgiris still has the lead.
Again, responding to some of your comments, guys, the players from the Zalgiris team, from the green team, are not older than 17 or 18 years old. In Vytautas, there are some veteran players, and they do have players with experience.
Yeah, as I mentioned, part of that group is 16 years old age, another part is 17 years of age. And some of the players are actually younger than Melo Ball.
Yes, Zalgiris junior team with players that are also taking their first steps in professional basketball, just like Liangelo and LaMelo. And the teammates of the Ball brothers are obviously more experienced, such as Regimantas Minėtas, but he struggles against pretty good defense.
Yeah, Erikas Venskus showed some good defense, and he knows how to play against men because he made his debut in 2nd division of Lithuania Basketball League this season, and he's playing against some tough teams.
And the battle continues.
Yeah, one-on-one battle. Venskus, nice spin move, nice fake moves against Minėtas, but this time Minėtas is good in defense.
Venskus doesn't finish, but Zalgiris keep the ball. And 22 seconds on the shot clock.
And less than 4 minutes left till the end of the first half.
Oh, sorry, 14 seconds, as it should be. This is the rules in European basketball. After an offensive rebound, the shot clock is reset to 14, not 24.
Rokas Jokubaitis. Strong defense by Denis Lukashov. There's a new face on the court, Matas Špokas.
Tried a pick and roll, but Minėtas playing with quick hands on defense.
Lukashovas passes to Minėtas. Minėtas drives inside against Venskus. This time no good as well.
I think he had a pretty good chance to take the 3-point shot, but after missing 3 in a row, his confidence is a little bit shaky. And the same guy, once again, Jokubaitis, the captain and the leader of this team.
Remember the name, he has 14 points already, and he seems fired up for this game. Tomas Masiulis seems to be happy about his point guard performance so far. Lukashov to Liangelo for 3. 3-point shot by Jello.
Now he's got 7. He's leading Vytautas team in scoring. LaMelo with 6.
Arnas Adomavičius. That's a bad pass and a fast break opportunity for Jello. No good. He just missed a 100% opportunity on the offense. Adomavičius to Venskus. Once again, Jokubaitis. He doesn't rush. He knows that he needs to find an open look for his teammates. And Venskus against Jello.
Looks like a foul. I think the ref could have called it earlier.
That's the second foul for Jello and the third foul for Vytautas in this quarter.
Some height disadvantage this time for Liangelo Ball against taller Erikas Venskus.
Yeah, Venskus just tried to use this mismatch opportunity, but as we saw, he was stopped by a foul.
It's a 13th foul.
Venskus, this time against tougher opponent Minėtas. Dois Pangratjevas. He plays in the 3rd division of Lithuania basketball. Venskus, 2 seconds left. Oh, and good defense by Vytautas this time.
He tries a lot, Venskus, but it's not as effective as you would like this to be, and it's Liangelo ball. Another good opportunity. Well, you cannot blame him for taking those shots. These are good open shots.
Yeah, he was open, and that's why he tried. And he plays as Prienu would play normally. He just tries to score from downtown as Prienu would.
Taking threes in the fast break. This is what Prienu have been doing ever since Virginijus Šeškus became the head coach of this team.
Remember, this is original Golden State Warriors team.
With obviously a different roster. Back in those days, they probably had a stronger roster. They won the Lithuanian Cup, beating the big dogs, the Kauno Zalgiris and Vilnius Lietuvos Rytas.
It was a huge sensation back then. And I need to be a lawyer for this team just to explain why they struggled at the beginning of the season. They had some injuries. They have some injured players right now, like Egidijus Dimša, that center position player. That's why Vytautas lacks the size and cannot control the board in this game. And this is, of course, the beautiful girls of Lithuania. Maybe you heard the song, Welcome to Lithuania. So if you have an opportunity to watch some good quality basketball and you have some spare money, just buy the goddamn ticket to Lithuania and come to our country. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful, not in terms of the girls, but in terms of scenery, in terms of good nature and nice cities as well.
Less than 2 minutes left to play in the first half. Zalgiris junior team leading by 5, 34-29. The Ball brothers scored 13 points combined, but Lamelo is in a foul trouble. He has 3 fouls.
And Virginijus Šeškus, the head coach of Vytautas team, hasn't used any of his timeouts in this game. Tomas Masiulis has used all of his timeouts. He had 2 in the first half, remember that.
That's a great play. A solid screen set for Lukashov, a shooter. He just missed it. Edvinas Šeškus with the offensive rebound.
Almost a dunk by Šeškus. And he cuts the deficit to 3 points. And he just used his physical abilities against the smaller opponent. Congratimas to Arnas Adomavičius from 3. That's another 3 by Arnas Adomavičius.
Talking about Edvinas Šeškus and head coach Virginijus Šeškus, the Šeškus family is kind of similar to the Ball family, as we do know Lonzo playing in the Lakers, and the brother of Edvinas, Domantas, is also a professional basketball player at the moment playing in France.
The 4th division of France basketball league. I'm sure Domantas is watching this game live, I think, if he doesn't have a game right now. So hello, Domantas.
Last minute of the second quarter.
Adomavičius drives inside. He was stopped by Liangelo, but he still was able to throw that ball.
But Arnas Adomavičius looks a very brave kid. He wants the ball in his hands, he wants to shoot, he wants to play.
Ivanauskas. Liangelo, he misses an air ball by Jello.
Might have been blocked. No foul there. Lukashov.
Vytautas, a nice one-handed dunk by Vytautas.
That's what we've been missing so far in this game.
Statue of Liberty dunk by Vytautas once again. That's a nice highlight.
Vytautas with 7 points.
And we do see that if there's an open look, the players try to dunk the ball. That's a good one.
That's a foul, and that's a tactical foul because it's only a 4-team foul, non-shooting foul.
And only 7 seconds left till the end of the first half. Jokubaitis and Arlauskas back on the court again.
These are the main players for Zalgiris junior team, and coach Tomas Masiulis wants to have them for the final possession.
Jokubaitis passes to Venskus. Venskus looks for Jokubaitis for the star of this game for junior team. No good. And there's no good last possession by Giedrius Bergaudas. So the score after first half is 37-35 for Zalgiris Kaunas junior team. What are your thoughts, Rytis, after first half?
Well, I think it was fun, first of all. It's good pace. The crowd is into it. There are some turnovers, some bad passes, and it's normal because, you know, this Zalgiris junior team, like we said, they are inexperienced guys who just gathered together and are preparing for a tournament. Melo and Jello showed some good things, also show that, well, they have to learn a lot. especially on the defensive end, if we talk about LaMelo and being smarter not to foul. But again,
but he looks good on offense, I think.
Yeah.
He looks creative on offense. He tries to find some open teammates, and of course the miscommunication still stands in this game because they didn't have a lot of practice with Vytautas team.
we did see some good basketball. We did see some plays that didn't really work out for both teams, but so far it's pretty fun, I think. I hope you guys are enjoying it. It's 37-35, Zalgiris junior team with a 2-point lead after the first half. And there you see the rest of the schedule that is planned for the Big Baller Challenge games.
Yeah, we can explain the upcoming opponents for Vytautas team. So Vytautas gonna face Lietuvos Rytas second team Vilnius. This is the team that plays in the third division of Lithuania Basketball League, or as it's called, Regionų Krepšinio Lyga, RKL. Remember, there are LKL, the first basketball league. The second division is called NKL, or Nacionalinė Krepšinio Lyga, National Basketball League. So Šakių Vytis and Jonava is two second division teams, and Vytautas gonna play in Triple B Challenge game against the first division Lithuania Basketball League team, Dzūkija Alytus. And right now we're gonna see some highlights from the first half of the game, so enjoy, guys. And we're back to Prienu, to Lithuania. Remember, Prienu is a town in Lithuania, and Lithuania is a country in Europe, if you didn't know that before. You see the stats. For the first half of the game, Liangelo has 7 points and 2 boards for him. Vytautas has 7 points and 7 rebounds for him. And Melo Ball is one of the better scorers in Vytautas team as well, with 6 points. Rokas Jokubaitis has been a star on offense for Zalgiris Kaunas Junior, and for this game so far 14 points. Arnas Adomaitis has 8 And one more guy, Erikas Venskus, the big guy for junior team, has 5 points in his account.
Venskus had some problems as well, trying to use his height, but Vytautas from Zalgiris junior team, I think this guy is going to go far. A real prospect, and this is the player that I think that Zalgiris main team expects to see in the roster in the coming few years.
He has the courage to play the point guard position. He has the skills to play the point guard position. Of course, he lacks some physical abilities to be better in the men level basketball, but I think...
But it's the decision making, and when you see a young kid who's 17, 18 years old, reading the defense so well, getting the switch, using the mismatch, playing one-on-one, involving his teammates, feeding the ball to them in the paint, playing pick and roll, I think he's got everything needed, the full package, to be a good player in the future.
Yeah, it's a good material for the future, and all of his hopes in his hands. And right now we're gonna see some interviews from the crowd in this game, so guys, just enjoy.
I'm here with a well-known stand-up comedian, Paulius Ambrazevičius. Paulius, you are here to watch the Ball brothers playing their first game. What do you expect from the game?
Well, first of all, I'm really, it's surreal. It's totally surreal that I'm here in Prienu to watch Ball brothers play. And I expect that, even though I'm not a fan of Zalgiris, but I just want that our guys would show them who's the boss here. So that's it.
I remember when we first heard the news, we were actually together on a trip in Scotland. How did you take the news? How did you react?
Well, it was just surreal. It was very unexpected. I think it was like a joke or something when we were talking, oh yeah, they're looking for a club in Europe, why not Lithuania? And somehow it appeared that it is Lithuania, and that's very weird for me.
In the actual day when the Ball family landed in Lithuania, they arrived here, they came to Prienu. Did you follow all the news?
No, unfortunately, I was watching the other basketball game of my team, Lietuvos Rytas, which is like the best team in Lithuania, in my opinion. But later I looked through the coverage, through the media coverage, and it was simply crazy. It was as if we have like basketball Kardashians here, and it's weird.
Okay, thank you so much. Enjoy the game.
Okay, cheers.
You do see the stand-up comedian Paulius Ambrazevičius sharing his thoughts with an actual sweater that says Zalgiris on it, but don't get mistaken, it's Zalgiris soccer team.
We have a lot of Zalgiris teams in Lithuania. We have handball team of Zalgiris. We have other team of the name Zalgiris. So, but yeah,
it's a historical name,
yeah,
actually.
But the powerhouse of basketball is Zalgiris as well. Zalgiris Kaunas, and today we see Zalgiris Kaunas junior team playing. There is another name, Zalgiris Kaunas second team, that plays in the second division of Lithuanian basketball, and part of that group from the second division is playing as the Zalgiris Kaunas junior team unit.
I know there's a lot of information and you might get confused at some point, but basically if any of you guys do follow European soccer, the whole pyramid in basketball is similar. Every big club have their youth teams. They grow players from the very first days they enter basketball. There's no such thing as student athletes. Amateur basketball is completely different world in Europe, and you know, that's how players are grown here.
And if you want some crazy facts, I can give you one. Edvinas Šeškus, the son of Virginijus Šeškus and the member of this game, has made his debut when he was only 14 years of age in Lithuania Basketball League, in the first division of Lithuania Basketball League. Can you imagine that? He was 14 years old. Remember what you did when you were 14 years old. Maybe you were playing still, I don't know, with toy cars or whatever.
Well, pick-up basketball at the very best, and the guy was playing pro ball being 14 years of age, and that's not something uncommon. If you follow European basketball closely, you probably know a name, Luka Doncic, and that's a Slovenian top prospect who started playing for Real Madrid when he was 15 years old. And now he might be the #1 draft pick in the NBA.
Okay, maybe you remember another name that is closer to you, Ricky Rubio.
Yeah.
That used to play in Europe when he was a very young prospect. I think he was 16 years of age when he made his EuroLeague debut.
And at 14 years of age, he played his first game in the Spanish top division. So That says a lot.
Yeah, and right now he plays for Utah Jazz in NBA League.
And there is no such thing as drafts in Europe. Nobody drafts players, you just grow them. You just take them from the young days and you just grow the player for yourself.
It's a harder process, you know, but it pays off if you have a good academy.
And we did see, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Rytis, we did see Robertas Vytautas, a former player, a player who was drafted by the San Antonio Spurs. He didn't actually play for the Spurs except from the summer league. And at the moment, he is working at the Zalgiris club. Last season, he finished his pro career, finished on a high note, winning the Lithuanian championship. And there he is speaking to the cameras and to the...
Yeah, he's a legendary big guy for Lithuania basketball.
Yeah.
And just the last season, he retired from the professional basket and became the sports manager for Zalgiris Kaunas.
He did play for the national team, for example, against the United States in the Athens Olympics in 2004, where LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony played their first tournament for the national team. And Lithuania actually beat them.
Guys, just type Robertas Vytautas on YouTube, Robertas Vytautas dunks, and you're gonna see some nice footage by Robertas Vytautas.
If you can spell it, of course.
Yeah. We're not going to do that, obviously, right now.
We have a couple of minutes until the second half.
Vidas Ginavicius, the coach assistant for Tomas Masiulis. Tomas Masiulis and Vidas Ginavicius has both played in Zalgiris Kaunas men's team, so this is tradition going on. They were players for Zalgiris Kaunas, and now they are coaches for junior team.
They are hard workers, you know. Tomas Masiulis has been a beast on the boards. Never the guy who was very athletic or jumping too high, but he just had that smell for the rebounds. And you know, he took a lot of rebounds in EuroLeague. Zalgiris really trusted him playing that power forward position. And Vidas Ginavicius on the other end, he was the master of stealing the ball and sometimes acting to draw some offensive fouls, to draw some charges. He was, I don't know, one of the best in Europe in that.
And actually, the son of Tomas Masiulis, Gytis Masiulis, is playing both for Zalgiris Kaunas men's team and second team. He has, as you would call, a two-way contract, but we're not saying it's a contract. He just goes between these two teams. When he has opportunity, he plays for men team. When there's no playing time in men team, he plays for the second team. Gytis Masiulis, that's his name. So the son of Tomas Masiulis is continuing the family tradition to play professional basketball and to play for Zalgiris Kaunas.
We have a couple of minutes until the third quarter. Teams are warming up.
Another interesting fact by Vytautas social media. You can follow Vytautas on Instagram or Facebook. You can do as well with the Zalgiris Kaunas junior team. Vytautas had 1,000 followers 1 month ago. Right now, up to this date, Vytautas has, just try to guess the number. I'll give you a few seconds. Just think of a number in your head. Do you know the number, Rytis?
I don't.
You can try guessing.
I'm not even going to try, but I do know that before the Ball brothers, I had more followers on social media than the Vytautas team.
Me too, no? But the funny thing is, right now, Vytautas has 52,000 followers on Instagram. It's the best result in terms of sports team in Lithuania, and Vytautas surpassed Zalgiris Kaunas, the powerhouse of Lithuania basketball, that got a pretty nice statistics on social media feed.
And Zalgiris Kaunas, we actually didn't mention having a dream season so far in the EuroLeague. Winning 10 games in the regular season, being in the 5th place, which would give them the place in the playoffs. Competing there against the very best, against teams like Fenerbahce or CSK Moscow. I'm sure you guys heard of that. Many players come to the NBA from there. You could mention a few: Bogdan Bogdanovic, Ekpe Udoh, who became the EuroLeague champion and the MVP of the Final Four last season, now playing for the Utah Jazz. And you know, Zalgiris is competing over there and competing pretty well this season.
Well, maybe it's hard to imagine how unorthodox the result of Zalgiris is right now. Imagine if this season's Atlanta Hawks would win the NBA championship. That would be a better comparison. But Zalgiris shows a better basketball, in my opinion, than Atlanta Hawks right now.
Well, I think it is really impossible to compare the NBA franchise basketball with what we have in Europe, because in the NBA, franchises are building for the future, thinking long-term, thinking 5 years or even more, making moves, making trades.
They're tanking and doing these things.
Draft picks and stuff like that. In Europe, the bigger the budget you have, the better the players you can get. And Zalgiris is one of the low-budget teams actually in the EuroLeague, but playing with their own grown talent, and it's working pretty well so far.
And nobody has patience in Lithuania to wait for the future, to wait for better results. If you showed good results today, you have a better fan base, you have a bigger audience that attends your games.
And it's a one-point game now. The third quarter is underway. It's Lukashov, Vytautas, Sinica, Šeškus and Dimša, so both of the Ball brothers are on the bench starting this third quarter.
Lukashovas misses. So now we're going to see Vytautas using 5 players of the roster that started the season. Lukashovas, though, joined the team when the season
Rokas
has already started.
Jokubaitis, I just love watching this player.
Arlauskas drives to the basket and he scores.
Number 13, the point guard for Zalgiris junior team, once again playing one-on-one against a veteran player, Lukashov, outplaying him, driving to the left, and dishing a beautiful assist to his teammate.
He's already fit to play in the men basketball level, of course, not maybe Lithuania first division basketball level, but second for sure. He scores 10 points in one game in the National Basketball League, or the second division of Lithuania Basketball League, and he looks good on the court as well as in this game today. Lukashov, Tomas Dimša to Sinica. He's a good shooter, he has a hot hand, and he proves that.
That's his second free of the night. Vytautas led by Vytautas, 10 points, Sinica has 8.
And Vytautas ties the score, and right now we're gonna see some answer from Zalgiris Kaunas junior team. Martynas Arlauskas, a screen by Venskus. Again to Venskus, there's a 2-pointer.
Martynas Arlauskas is a very smart player. This is a beautiful fast break finish by Lukashov. And talking about Martynas Arlauskas, number 5 for Zalgiris junior team. The best thing about him, the confidence and the coolness he has. Even when facing more experienced teams, more experienced players, he feels comfortable.
Maybe that's why the head coach of Zalgiris Kaunas men's team, Šarūnas Jasikevičius, chose him on this season roster, and he made his debut in EuroLeague, in the best competition that you can get in Europe, and he is only 17 years of age. It's not rare to see in Lithuania a young talent to make his debut at this very young of age.
And he actually started one game when they played the reigning champions, Fenerbahce Istanbul.
Lukashov to Dimša. That's a nice pass to Vytautas, and there's a 2-pointer as well. This time Giedrius Bergaudas, the junior team, big guy, didn't do anything to stop Vytautas. Zalgiris has 2 team fouls already. Jokubaitis, a very close defense like Gary Payton would use against Rokas Jokubaitis. Nice pass! Once again, props for Rokas Jokubaitis.
He makes the plays for them, and we did see how Zalgiris junior team struggles when he's on the bench now. Miscommunication on the defensive end. Lukashov gets an easy basket, the backdoor cut.
Not only he scores, but he looks for open teammates. He's not a selfish player at all.
And Martynas Arlauskas draws the foul. This is a shooting foul. It sends him to the line.
Virgeny Šeškus, as we mentioned before, he's a vivid character. He can be very hot-tempered. And right now he's angry with Regimantas Vytautas.
Maybe you read a lot of stories about Virgeny Šeškus, what he does off the court, off basketball. I mean, he could sell fresh fish to his own players.
Or meat,
or
out of the trunk of the car.
Yeah, and they love him. People love him here in Prienu, in Lithuania in general. He's a very honest, a lovable guy. If you could understand his press conferences, of course he doesn't speak a lot of English, but if you could understand his Lithuanian press conferences, they're brilliant.
But Jeff Goodman from ESPN tried to talk to Virgeny Šeškus, and he answers some of the questions in English.
So he's learning.
He's learning, he's improving as his team tries in this game. Now they have the lead. Rokas Jokubaitis.
This time, look for the pass, and it's very risky when you look for the pass being in the air. Sometimes you have to adjust and take the shot. The bank shot didn't go in, and this is a foul.
Another fact by Rokas Jokubaitis is that he made a game winner in his first game of this season in his first game in the second division of Lithuania Basketball League. So imagine a better debut game than that. You're making a buzzer beater game winner in the first game of the season.
So far, both Ball brothers are still on the bench in the third quarter. Vytautas trying to extend their lead.
Šeškus.
It's a battle, and Zalgiris with the ball.
6 minutes left till the end of the third quarter. Zalgiris has 3 team fouls. Vytautas has only 1. A new possession by Zalgiris Kaunas junior team. Jokubaitis once again against him is Denis Lukashov.
Even though Virginijus Šeškus, the head coach of Vytautas, doesn't speak fluent English, basketball is the universal language, and it is the best language to use when you're trying to speak to your players.
Yeah, the same was with the answer of Lavar Ball. He said, we don't care if he doesn't speak English, we just need a basketball language. Some passing by junior team. Arlauskas tries to get the off rebound, no good. Another fast break opportunity. Šeškus from downtown is no good.
Grabs his own rebound.
Once again, he tries to use his power against Giedrius Bergodas, even though Bergodas is a taller guy than Šeškus, but Šeškus has physical abilities to play against a taller guy like Giedrius Bergodas.
But it does look like these young guys are well prepared for the physical contact so far. Jokubaitis one-on-one. Driving to the right this time. I think there was a lot of contact, no foul called. A fast break by Vytautas, Miniotas, and he ties the game.
Yeah,
Sorry, he stands the lead to 4.
No Venskus on defense, so Zalgiris was left only with 2 guards to defend against Regimantas Miniotas. That was a tough task to perform, and they didn't succeed on that. Arlauskas plays selfishly. Dimša.
It's a turnover, and an easy basket once again. Vytautas leading by 6. Coach Tomas Masiulis takes the timeout.
53-47, and now Virginijus Šeškus might think about putting Melo on the court. Or Jello, I don't know. Yeah, that's some Lithuanian language between Virginijus Šeškus and Miniotas. Šeškus is obviously angry with some of the Miniotas plays during the last few minutes on the court. And Zalgiris Kaunas junior team is not afraid of that deficit so far. Tomas Masiulis once said, okay, our team can grow a big lead in the game, our team can get lost to a big deficit in the game, but we're sure gonna fight no matter what the score is, so I don't think the match is decided already. Zalgiris Kaunas junior gonna fight for that tie score or even back to the lead, of course.
No basketball game can be decided by taking a 6-point lead in the third quarter. Doesn't matter if it's the States or Europe, but it's 4:35 to go in the third, and obviously Zalgiris junior team now with some problems. They have to discuss it during this timeout. Vytautas with the flow of the game, controlling the flow, and now LaMelo enters the court.
And actually, there's been talks about LaMelo joining Zalgiris Kaunas junior team for the Junior EuroLeague qualification tournament. We don't know the answer yet. If this guy, Melo Ball, gonna join this junior team, this squad that you see today in this game for the qualification tournament, we're gonna know the answer in a few days, I think.
If he would play in that competition, that would be opportunity to see LaMelo Ball actually facing the biggest prospects in European basketball of 16, 17 years of age.
Yeah, and playing his peers. Not playing older guys, not playing men basketball representatives, but playing his age guys.
Another defensive stop for Vytautas. And here is LaMelo Ball.
Melo, Steph Curry shot from very, very deep. No good. He doesn't afraid to take those deep three-point shots, and you know it by now because, of course, you watch him play in Chino Hills High School.
Of course, at times he wants to show off, but soon he will learn. I mean, the more he plays, he will learn that this is serious basketball.
But I mean, for showing off purposes, he has his own Lamborghini. Let him play basketball, yeah.
Fair enough.
Jokubaitis. Melo tries not to foul.
He is risking to get that 4th foul. He understands he's in a foul trouble. There's an open free. Those have been falling in the first half for Arnas Adomavičius.
Melo drives inside and he scores! Melo does the show. Jakubaitis asks for screen from Markovetsky. Kancleris to Vaištaras from downtown. No good.
It's been brick city for Zalgiris junior team. And as we saw, LaMelo Ball adding some spice to his layup. It's not fun to make it simple.
Yeah. And now we see the power deficit for Zalgiris Kaunas, that the lack of physical abilities, that's where Zalgiris tries to score from downtown. That's where Zalgiris tries to look for open trees. Because
shots not going in.
Yeah, and the score is to Vytautas' favor, 55-47.
And we have another timeout.
Just listen to some English of Virginia Shevchuk. I mean, guys, he's right. He didn't speak English before in his career. He only coached Vytautas Prienu Birštonas team, and they didn't have a lot of foreign players. Just this season, before the start of the season, Vytautas signed the first US player. It was Brad Tinsley that played very briefly for Vytautas team.
Well, but before he was coaching Lietuvos Rytas Vilnius team, and there he had some American players like Mike Moser, Billy Barron, and some others.
And Travis Leslie as well.
I talked to Travis Leslie about this whole coach doesn't speak English thing. He said, well, I don't know. I just look at him. He makes some moves, makes some gestures, and I think I understand what he's trying to say.
Yeah, the most universal basketball language is what Virginia Shevchuk emphasizes when he tries to speak to foreign guys.
Now both Liangelo and LaMelo are on the court.
And Melo showed some good offense in the last minutes of the game. He drove inside, and he made a nice two-pointer.
14 seconds on the shot clock.
8-point lead for Vytautas Prienu Birštonas. Tomas Dimša tries to look for a Minėtas, nice behind the back pass, and Minėtas, 2 points for him.
Well, he draws the defense, and I don't think the help was necessary. That's what the coach is trying to say.
Yeah, remember, these guys are still learning. That's a tough process.
That's only the third team foul for Vytautas. And for Minėtas, it's his second personal. He's the leading scorer with 16.
A couple of minutes ago, we just thought that 6-point lead is not afraid for Zalgiris Kaunas junior team, but now that lead grew to 10-point lead, and it's pretty crucial time for this green team. Adomavičius drives inside, almost like Melo.
Well, he did beat Melo on his way by the dribble.
That's the deficit to 8 points. Melo. Minėtas doesn't look to Melo right now.
Tomas Dimša frees himself up, and once again, Tomas Dimša seeing the open guy under the rim, and it's a beautiful pass.
Well, he's the leader of this season of Vytautas team, and we just saw why. He can create opportunities as well as score baskets on offense. That's Marius Pogradevas, and mistake from him. Melo, nice pass, Tomas Dimša! There's a foul for number 18, Nedas Kancleris. What a pass by Melo.
And Lamar loves it. Lamar Ball, the father, is watching, and that is sweet basketball.
He is a one proud father.
Tomas Dimša at the line. Had some serious injuries throughout his career, injuries stopping him.
But he was a huge prospect when he was younger age basketball player.
As I mentioned, he was in the camp with Andrew Wiggins and some other players who are successful in the NBA at the moment. Less than 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and this quarter, Vytautas simply dominating.
It's almost a midday in LA, and I think Lonzo Ball is watching this game too, so hello to Lonzo as well. I sure hope you do enjoy your brothers playing on the court right now.
Aggressive defense once again, another steal, another pass, and a dunk. the high flyer.
And Melo and Thomas Dimša creating the show for the whole world to see.
We do see a good connection between these two guards. Thomas Dimša actually was a little bit skeptical about the Ball brothers arriving here and all the cameras and all the fuss.
He didn't like the show at all.
I think he enjoys creating the show at the moment. He has 11 points, a couple of dunks, and now it's a 13-point lead.
Yeah, he's a hard worker on the court. He tries to prove himself as the leader in this season, Vytautas team. And like you said, he enjoys playing with Melo. It seems like that. A couple of times to do so please again. Hey, pažiūrėk, jeigu dengia dabar dengs mažiukas į sužaisti.
Once again, Virginijus Šeškus with some English. Also, we heard Lithuanians saying, just play simple. It's working for us. And it all starts from the defensive end. Now, we saw a couple of steals leading to fast breaks.
And we saw Vytautas growing up the lead to a 13-point lead. 62-49 so far, and Zalgiris Kaunas junior team is in a big trouble right now. Tomas Masiulis understands that, and that's why he asked for a second timeout in the second half of the game. So he has only one timeout left, so he better use that for the...
Better save that. Better save that for the fourth quarter, because right now the game is not lost yet. They could come back, but they need some offense, and it's not clicking for them. They missed
pass to Markovetsky with no success.
Again, they missed a lot of three-pointers.
Jello against Arnas Adomaitis. He uses his power against not that tough opponent. Arnas Adomaitis was just a watcher in this possession.
Zalgiris junior team looks like they are tired. They don't have much left in the tank, and there is still a whole fourth quarter to play.
Of course, you have your leaders in Zalgiris Kaunas junior team, but
there is a mismatch, and they do not pass it to the 7-footer
from three.
But I still don't understand how the 7-footer, after the switch, getting LaMelo Ball against him, does not get the pass.
Well, Thomas Masiulis, when he was talking about number 15 in, let's see what Jello is preparing, no good for him. When Thomas Masiulis, the head coach of Zalgiris Kaunas junior team, was talking about number 15, Volodymyr Markovetsky, he was talking of him as a learning basketball player. He still lacks some technical skills in his chest of treasures of basketball, and he needs to still learn.
Probably doesn't have post moves yet, I don't know, but he didn't even get the chance to show it, and now he's on the bench again. 16-4-52.
One of the braver guys, Arnas Adomaitis, who looks for an open teammate.
You do see LaMelo Ball gambling a lot on defense, going for those steals.
And he risks to get a fourth foul. No good. Venskus with the ball.
That's a foul. That's a clear foul, but that's a good hard foul.
That stopped Erikas Venskus from scoring. Now Jello got the third foul for him. The same amount of fouls belongs to Melo as well. And Thomas Dimša is, I think, talking to Melo about what to do on the court. It looks like clearly Thomas Dimša likes this guy, Melo. Erikas Venskus can cut the deficit to 10 points. And he makes it.
One final possession for Vytautas in this third quarter.
Well, this quarter actually was not successful for the guest team. They lost the quarter by a bigger margin than they have expected. Melo, a pass to brother, no good.
That's a wasted opportunity, and now Zalgiris junior team can finish the quarter. 10 seconds, 10 and 6 of a seconds left.
And Thomas Masiulis, the head coach, quickly lets Rokas Jokubaitis back on the court for the last possession of this quarter. Adomaitis, 5 seconds left. 4. And that's a steal.
And will we see another one?
Whoa! Thomas Dimša finishes on a high note.
66-54. And Zalgiris junior team did enter the third quarter with a 2-point lead. Now they are down by 12.
And now we have new BFs, Tomas Dimša and LaMelo Ball. If you're thinking about signing LaMelo for your professional contract, just think about adding Tomas Dimša as well.
Well, he's a high flyer, like we said. He does enjoy dunking the ball. He does enjoy playing on the open court. And in European basketball, actually, you don't see as much of open court as you would in the NBA. However, today, it's a different story, and it's a lot of opportunities on the fast break.
Yeah, and I tried to look how do LeVar Ball feels right now, and he feels great, I think. His team is winning, his son's team is winning, and he can be proud of his sons playing on the court. Melo has 8 points, Jello has 9.
And we should mention the steals and the assists as well. The leading scorer is Vytautas with 18, Dimša has 13 for the Zalgiris junior team. Jokubaitis is still leading with 17, and Arlauskas, Adomavičius both have 10.
And deeper stats, Melo has 3 steals, Jello has 2, and Jello as well has 4 rebounds. Melo has no rebounds in this game. Melo made 2 two-pointers out of 3, 3 three-pointers out of 3, and he missed both of his downtown shots. Jello, on the other hand, he tried to score 4 three-pointers, then he only made 1. He tried scoring 8 two-pointers, and he only made 3.
So the long-range shooting is not really working so well.
Venskus with a nice off rebound and a 2-pointer for him.
LaMelo Ball again with the lead pass. And Liangelo with the and-one.
Well, Jello just used that one-on-one opportunity against Arnas Adomavičius once again. Adomavičius suffers from his lack of physical abilities in that situation.
I think the defense got softer in the second half, and these young guns of Zalgiris, they do look tired. Not getting back on defense, not showing enough physicality. They're down by 12 once again.
And Vytautas has scored 21 fast break points this game, while Zalgiris Kaunas Jr. has only 4. Adomavičius, D3, Rokas Jokubaitis.
It's a floater. It's a nice floater by left-handed floater by Jokubaitis.
He's a scoring machine in this game. He has 19 points. 11 has Erikas Venskus. So these fellas are the best scorers in Zalgiris Kaunas Junior.
This time we do see
Jokubaitis one-handed dunk, and he's happy about it.
It all starts on the defensive end, and this time Arnas Adomavičius standing up to Liangelo Ball, playing his back to the basket.
Some full court pressure. This is Melo. Oh my God, Melo. We don't want to do that.
Again, he does have range. We all know that. But you have to be smart.
Another steal by Zalgiris Kaunas Junior team. Now Arlauskas controls the possession.
They're trying to get themselves back into this game. It's a good opportunity for Venskus. Short.
Well, Justas it's a risk on defense, but Venskus missed. Jello scores, and what a pass by Melo. Melo and Jello works the offense.
Close to being a traveling violation, but it was all good according to the refs, and it's a really, really nice pass.
70-60. There's a foul first by Vytautas in this quarter. Eivinas Šečkus just marks his first foul in this game. Vytautas has 18 points. Tomas Dimša has 13, as well as Jello.
2 minutes played in the fourth quarter. Arlauskas.
Jokubaitis.
He leads the show once again, playing the pick and roll. And Venskus just has to finish.
Jello with a defensive rebound. Gives the ball to Melo. Melo against Giedrius Bergaudas. Well, yeah, Melo can arrange some good possession, can create some good opportunities, but he's deep scoring is poor today.
The shot selection, first of all.
Yeah.
It's not really good, and sometimes he rushes it. on the offensive end. So does Edvinas Šeškus this time, another fast break free.
As long as Vytautas tries to score those quick three-pointers, and there's Rokas Jokubaitis. Did you see that? Some Pete Maravich highlight reel by Rokas Jokubaitis. I just love this guy.
And it's starting to look like, I don't know, the All-Star weekend. The guy's not getting back to defensive end at all.
Even weekend.
Yeah, and I think the first half actually was a lot more competitive than that, but it's still nice to watch, still fun.
A lot of fun to watch the second half of the game. But the score is still not in favor of Zalgiris Kaunas junior team, 72-62. And a third foul by Martynas Linkevičius, second team foul by Vytautas. Melo is on the bench once again. Gediminas Maceina is on the court.
LaMelo Ball did get the standing ovation going to the bench. He's got 8 points. LiAngelo Ball with 13.
Venskus.
Again, how many good opportunities Venskus is missing tonight.
Oh, that's a nice pass by Gediminas Maceina, a veteran player, to Edvinas Šeškus. And the son of the head coach just makes the dunk.
The Zalgiris junior team suffers from missed opportunities because we do see some good shots, some good passes to the center, Erikas Venskus, but he just misses. Too many layups, too many easy jump shots.
Maceina once again. He doesn't rush. He's a 33 of age, one of the oldest guys in this team. And this is Jello. Nice pin move. Nice basket by Jello Ball. 15 points for him.
Well, LiAngelo Ball is playing a lot today in the paint, as his brother trying to create, trying to find opportunities for three-point shots. LiAngelo Ball is just attacking Zalgiris youngsters back to the basket, showing his post moves.
Tomas Masiulis brings Laurynas Vaištaras on the court again. He still thinks that his team can win this one. The first game of Triple B Challenge Games match here in Prienai. Arnas Adomavičius, the brave guy from Zalgiris junior team, tries to score, and there's a block to Erikas Venskus shot. The ref says the possession still belongs to Zalgiris Kaunas junior team. More than 5 minutes left till the end of the fourth quarter.
A lot of comments here on Facebook, a lot of different opinions. But we as Lithuanians do appreciate that some of you guys are saying nice stuff about what you're seeing here on the court. .5:30 to go in the fourth quarter. It's a 14-point game, and Jokubaitis once again with his dribbles.
Vaištaras, he's closed on that side. Arnas Adomavičius drives inside, and there's, I would have said, a nice basket, but it didn't go in.
The layup's not going in, open jump shots not going in. Zalgiris junior team lacks confidence, I think, at this point. These young guys, 17, 18 years of age, it's harder for them when you get, like, I don't know, a streak that you lose by 12 points to get back into the game. The veterans are better prepared mentally.
But once again, they're playing against the first division basketball team. Remember that fact. Jello from 3. No good.
Great screen set that time by Regimantas Miniotas.
A fast break opportunity. But once again, another mistake by Zalgiris Kaunas junior team. Linkevičius, a quick 3.
This is just a shoot-around at the moment.
Well, that's how Vytautas play.
LiAngelo Ball to Miniotas.
You might say it's usual to see NBA teams making as many 3 points as Vytautas today, but it's not actually usual in Lithuania Basketball League. The first division of basketball teams tend to play more dynamic offense with not so many threes, with more inside plays. And today, Vytautas shows that he has a strong side for 3 points.
Well, first of all, the number of possessions you have in a European game, it's a lot less than in the NBA. And quarters are shorter, the court is shorter,
and smaller, and only natural to not see so many high-scoring games. And when a team scores 100 in Europe, it's actually a lot. This time we won't see anyone scoring 100 points. I think it's 78-62. Vytautas with the biggest lead of the night. 4:21 left to play.
And Arlauskas draws a sportsman-like foul. There's going to be 2 shots from the line and then additional possession to Zalgiris Kaunas junior team.
I think for you guys, flagrant foul will be the term you are probably more familiar with. And it's also different in Europe with the flagrant fouls.
Melo with a nice defense. Almost got a steal.
He's risking a lot. His brother is now actually with 4 fouls. LaMelo still has 3.
But Melo didn't get any more fouls after that situation when he got the 3rd foul. So he tries to work some defense without any fouls. Nice offense. Oh, maybe a bit too much. Another open shot by Zalgiris Kaunas player Arnas Adomavičius. Once again, he tries to score and he makes the basket.
3 against 5. Only 3 Vytautas players bothered to get back to defense.
Well, maybe some of the players think that they had already won this game. But you still got a foul.
Well, it's still a 10-point game. And
yeah, you got a foul to fight to the end of the last siren.
It's still a ball game. 3:15 to go.
Adomavičius, Vytautas. Jello knew where the ball would go. And Melo with a nice defensive rebound.
It's a foul stopping the fast break.
Tomas Masiulis actually is not happy with his team performance lately. He's been angry. And he lets Rokas Jokubaitis on the court. He needs his leader, his offense leader on the court back again. Jokubaitis has 23 points in this game, and he looks good. Jello against Arnas Adomavičius. And once again, he wins the fight against Arnas Adomavičius, not for the first time in this game.
I think Tomas Masiulis should put a bigger body on Liangelo Ball.
Yeah, of course.
Because number 2, Arnas Adomavičius, just lacking strength against Liangelo.
And Jello used that.
Jokubaitis. He's a better finisher with his left hand.
Off the glass, Modestas Kancleris. One again, American football pass to Jello. No good. Some time left as well, and there's another pass.
And a dunk.
Welcome to Jello Airlines. He'll be our captain today. 82-70. After nice dunk by Jello.
That's a backcourt violation. And Rokas Jokubaitis, he's probably tired as well. He's been carrying the load all night long. Probably the only consistent player that the Zalgiris junior team has today.
Yeah, he plays big minutes today. And there's a steal by Arnas Adomavičius. A small victory for him against Jello. Jokubaitis from 3. That's good.
They're still not done yet.
Jokubaitis says it's not finished.
Vytautas players are just complacent, I think, a little bit. When you see those passes, well, they're risking to get turnovers, and at some points they are just lucky that Zalgiris junior team lacks experience and doesn't use that.
One more time, Jello tries to break the rim. Melo, wow!
That's a strong finish. Now that's something you want to see.
That's some skills on offense by Melo. 84-73. Jokubaitis. Kancleris. 10 seconds left. And there's a dunk!
A putback dunk and a finish by Nedas Kancleris.
It all started with Jokubaitis, but Nedas Kancleris was the one to finish.
LaMelo Ball gets the screen, one-on-one, thinks about the long shot, doesn't take it. Oh, again, too much.
Yeah.
But he is 16 years old, and you can understand him wanting to show everything he's got.
Sinitsa. There's another shot from downtown.
And I think that's the dagger.
Yeah, that's it. Vytautas clearly has a comfortable lead in this game. 12-point lead and only 1 minute left till the end of the game.
A couple of more possessions to come, and Jokubaitis.
Another good basket by Rokas Jokubaitis. He has 28 points, and that's some good material for the future or for the upcoming EuroLeague Junior Tournament.
Well, despite his team losing, he's the star of the show. I mean, we do talk about LiAngelo and LaMelo, the Ball brothers, because it's their first professional basketball game, but we also have to talk about the player who has 28 points.
Remember, the number 13 from Zalgiris Kaunas junior team. He's hot today on offense. Maybe he lacks some abilities in defense, but he sure does good offense. Melo. I can't read Melo's face, you know. He looks as if everything's going in his way and his team way.
He just looks cool.
Yeah.
And there is no reason for him not to. His team is leading by 10. He scored 10 points. LiAngelo has 19. Minutas with 20. For Vytautas, for Zalgiris, as we mentioned, Jokubaitis 28. Arlauskas 14. Adomavičius 12. Venskus 11.
I just read one line about Melo today. He was called the most famous 16 years old basketball player ever to play the game. So maybe that's true.
But you know, you can be the most famous, but you still have to prove it on the court.
And he was not voted, but he was considered the most hated high school athlete as well. So double-sided opinion for Melo. But he does play good basketball.
He is a promising young talent, that's for sure.
Well, I see him one day in LA Lakers for sure, if he continues to develop.
I don't want to guess that far in the future, but I do see him playing pro basketball for sure, and now it's Jokubaitis.
Another three by this fella. 31 point for Jokubaitis. And the ball, Melo ball, we'll see if this possession for his team. 87-80, only 37 seconds left till the end of the game. Jokubaitis works some defense.
And the crowd loves it. The crowd loves to see crossovers, dribbles.
Melo wants to break some ankles.
And Justas Sinitsa, another free for him. He's got 14.
A calm veteran, another downtown shot.
He's been a great shooter throughout his whole career. Jokubaitis trying to add another deep three.
Well, Zalgiris Kaunas junior team put up a good fight today on Lithuania Basketball League team. Vytautas, remember, these fellas in green uniforms. And this is a very deep three-pointer. Remember, these fellas are only 16 or 17 years of age. And today they lost only by 10 points.
They were leading after the 2 quarters, but I think in the second half, just lacked energy.
And some physical abilities as well to compete to the men basketball team.
So that's the ball game. A 10-point game, 90 against 80. Vytautas winning it. Minutas the leading scorer for them with 20 points. LiAngelo ball 19. LaMelo ball with 10. And Jokubaitis finishes with 31 points for Zalgiris junior team.
Arlauskas added 14 points, Adomavičius scored 12, and Erikas Venskus, the big guy for Zalgiris Kaunas junior team, put 11. This is some stats on your screen as well.
Remember, that's only the first of the Big Baller Challenge games, and stay tuned because you will hear the exclusive comments from the head coaches of both teams.
And on this Saturday, Vytautas is going to play against Lietkabelis Panevėžys, a first division basketball team.
And that will be the official Lithuanian Basketball League match. And it's interesting, it's exciting to see if Coach Šeškus will show some trust in the Ball brothers.
Well, he mentioned before the game against Lietuvos Rytas Vilnius a couple of days ago that he needs more players in his rotation. He had only 8 players, so he said that I would have used Jello or Melo on the court if I had than with me in Vilnius, but he didn't have these players because they stayed in Prienai. This live stream is about to finish, but before the end of this stream, we're gonna see some comments by both head coaches. And we forgot to mention one thing. Every Big Baller Brand Challenge game has a reward of $2,000 for the winning team. So today, $2,000 belongs to Vytautas Prienai Birštonas, and the MVP of the game gets Triple B brand shoes.
Now that's a hard guess who would be the MVP of the game, because Minuttas is the leading scorer, but
Cello.
Liangelo Ball finished with 19 and he added some steals, some...
But he has a lot of Triple B shoes, so maybe, another guy will be the MVP of this match. And this guy who just scored the basket has signature Triple B shoes. It's called MB1. Lonzo Ball, the older brother of this family, has also a signature shoes for him as well. ZO2, they called. And we're waiting for a live press conference. Some nice highlights from this game. You saw Jello making a dunk. You also saw both of the brothers missing a lot of shots. Jello scored one three-pointer. Melo missed all of his 5 downtown shots.
Well, again, this is a learning process, and there will be some growing pains as well, meaning that you have to work on your shot selection, on your decision-making, and you don't expect miracles in the very first game, and I do hope we see progress going forward.
I sure hope we just witnessed some history today. Maybe one or maybe two futures basketball player for NBA spent some minutes today in this game. Maybe that guy Rokas Jokubaitis that you didn't know before has made a good impression for you. Just look at that passing by Jokubaitis. He was the best scorer in this game, 31 points. Jokubaitis proved to be a leader of Zalgiris Kaunas junior team. And as we mentioned before, we're still waiting for the live press conference to begin to start. I think LeVar Ball is giving some interviews to the huge crowd of the media here.
I think that's all he's been doing for the past few days.
Yeah. He's a vivid character as well. He's the English version of Virginijus Šeškus, I think.
American, probably, not English. Yeah, well, there were comparisons that actually Virginijus Šeškus is the Lithuanian LeVar Ball. You could see they are similar in a way. Both like to talk, both love attention, the cameras. And
both have sons.
Yeah, both voicing their opinions.
The press conference is about to start, so stay tuned. Before the game, LeVar Ball was taking some pictures of the ads he saw flashing here in Prienai Arena. And he was happy. He was happy of all the show that has been created for Vytautas team for the Triple B Challenge games. Once again, you can enjoy some highlights from this match. 90-80, Vytautas won the first of Triple B Challenge games. Another game awaits against Lietuvos Rytas second team. That's a capital city Vilnius team from Lithuania. And that match is going to be held, of course, in this Prienai arena.
There was a lot of anxiety and uncertainty before the game, you know. Not sure, I was not sure what to expect. What we're going to see from the young Zalgiris players, what we're going to see from LaMelo and Liangelo. Personally, to be honest, I think it was better than I expected.
Especially for Melo.
And it was a decent ball game at the end of the day, and it was a competition because, you know, there's a difference between playing basketball and actually competing. And it was competing for most part of the game, which is a great experience for the Ball brothers.
But it's going to be interesting to watch Jello and Melo playing against better competition in terms of physicality, in terms of experience, because these green uniform guys were only 16 or 17 years of age. If Jello wants to play NBA next year, or this year, as he mentioned in one of the press conference, he has to play against better competition.
And the coach, Virginijus Šeškus, who is sometimes called not the coach, the mayor of the city.
Living legend in Lithuania.
He is ready to give his comments. Of course, there will be translation, as he will be speaking Lithuanian.
So guys, just listen to what Virginijus Šeškus has to say.
Tai reiškia, šnekėt gal. Viskas. Tai ką, man šnekėt ar kas klauso?
Labas vakaras, good evening everybody. We are beginning a pre-cross conference. The first to speak is the head coach of the Prienu Vytautas team, Virginijus Šeškus.
About game? Lietuviškai šnekėsiu. Vienu žodžiu, šiandien, manau, įvykdėm tą, ką norėjom. Davėm naujokam pažaist.
We did our best for this game. We let the newcomers to play.
Laimėjom rungtynės.
We won the game.
Laimėjom prizą.
We won the prize.
Manau, visiems buvo šiandien, manau, svarbiausia ta šventė, tas toksai šventinis vakaras, tas žaidimas, kad būtų toks. Manau, visi džiaugiasi tuo vakaru.
I think that the main reason for everybody was to have a great and nice time today, and I think everything went great.
Tai gal geriau paklausk.
Any questions?
Nu, suprantat, nu matot, jie žmonės turėjo 3-4 treniruotės. Aš manau, kai kiekvienas naujas žmogus atvažiavęs, jeigu jis netgi būdamas bet kokio gero meistriškumo, jam būtų sunku. Bet matėte šiandien, kaip pagyvino visą tą dalyką Lamelo. Kokį perdavimą įkeli buvo. Tas vaikis kažką turi.
The question was how coach raised the debut. How coach raised the debut of both players. He said that everything were all right. It's obvious that for the first game it will be tough for them, and the coach really surprised by the Melo ball passes.
Aš sakau, nu, jam yra sunku. Jis žaidžia taip, kaip pripratęs. Tai yra normalu, jis tarp vaikų žaidė taip. Tarp savo tų bendramžių mokykloje ir vieną, jau mes jam kažkam pasakom, bet jam žinot, nu, reikia laiko. Čia tas pats, kai ateina žmogus, kad ir sakau, koksai gero meistriškumo, tu jam kažką parodai, jis gal gyvenime taip nežaidęs. Jam sunku, 16-mečių labai sunku.
The question was if Lamelo ball could be trained to do not shoot the ball so much from behind the arc. The coach said that it will be tough for him because he's coming from the high school, and the coach has scopes in him, and he thinks everything will be all right.
Telefonai kaip tik reikia. Aš sakau, kartojuosi. Kelios treniruotės. Aš jų realiai nežinau. Aš žinau, kažką moka Lamelas. Žinau, kažką moka Landžio. Bet kažką tai, kažkiek, aš dar kiek kelios treniruotės buvo. Aš matau, kad tas gerai driblinguoja, tas gali užcentruoti, kažkas yra. Gali pataikyti. Bet jiem reikia tvarkos. Reikia juos išmokyti europietiško krepšio. Tai yra didžiausia, kad jie žinotų, kada keičiasi. Mes gynyboje iš vis nedirbom realiai dabar per tas treniruotės. Sprendėm savo klausimus. Taip, kad, sakau, manau, už savaitės kokią pusantros galima ką bus pasakyti.
The question was about the Ball brothers both. Coach said that it will be tough for him to adapt to the team.
Tu garsiau prašau.
But the coach said everything's gonna be all right. Lamelo knows how to dribble, Jello knows how to shoot. They still need to learn European basketball, but everything is gonna be all right in the meantime.
How much does he want to keep them to keep their flair behind the back passes, no look passes? Does he like that or doesn't?
Leisti jiems žaisti laisvai, tam nugarą pasakoti.
Nu, manau, ne. Reikės vis tiek, bus kažkiek leista žais, bet manau mes vis tiek turėsim savo žaidimą. Ir mūsų trenerių yra tikslas ir pareiga išmokyti žaisti taip, kaip mes norim.
Coach says that not much because he wants to play his game, like coach says, and everything's gonna be alright.
Na, važiuos. Kaip broliai pas brolius turi važiuoti.
The question was if Ball brothers will go to Panevėžys Lietkabelis to meet the Krzysztofas and Darshas Avranovičių brothers. Coach said, of course, they will.
Reikia tikėtis.
The question was if they can help the team in the next game in the Lithuanian Basketball League. The coach said, yes, they're going to help.
Labai, manau, maloniai, aš žiūrėdavau jo žaidimą, jis buvo ir čempionate vyresnių, man patiko, tikrai patiko. Iš vis tie vyrukai, suprantat, bet sakė visi, kas tas turnyras, ne? Pažiūrėkit, kaip jie šiandien stengiasi. Jeigu jie va taip žais, aš jums galiu pasakyti, Kaune jie Eurolygos atranką laimės, patikėkit.
The question was about junior Zalgiris team and its player Rokas Jokubaitis. Coach said Coach said that it's a great player. He has a bright future, good talent, and about all the tournaments, said it is a tight tournament. Everyone is playing from their heart, and it's really interesting for every team participating in.
How has the father been with him?
Kaip tėvas, tai koks santykis?
Tėvas geras tėvas.
Father is good. Yeah.
Mes mes labai panašus.
Coach says they are a bit very similar. The coach and the father.
Coach, he and the father?
Yeah.
What do you think about him criticizing the Lakers head coach?
Come on,
nežinau, ką. I don't know.
No comments.
Huh?
No comments.
No comments?
Yeah.
Nežinau, čia vadovų reikalas, jie šnekės, aišku, ir aš pasijungsiu, bet žiūrėsim, kaip čia tas dalykas bus. Šiandien kaip tik pašnekėsim apie tą reikalą.
The question is about EuroLeague junior tournament in Kaunas, and will Lamelo play for Zalgiris team? And the coach said it's not there now, and everything will be solved in the future. Any questions?
Ačiū.
We're continuing our press conference. Now is the opposite coach of the Zalgiris second team, Tomas Masiulis. He's coaching of the game.
First of all, I like that my team fighting all 40 minutes. It was a very good experience for us, for our young players to play in such crowded gym. Of course, everybody can see that the level between. It's a big difference between levels of the teams, but I'm happy that we are fighting. O dabar man gal sunku čia atsakyti, aš kiekvieną kartą jį mačiau, pirmą kartą šiaip atvirai prisipažinsiu, taip kad net nežinau. Nes tikrai mes esam jau susižaidę komandą, susižaidusi ir žaidėjas ir gali daug padėti, bet gali ir daug sunkiai jį būti integruoti į komandą. Taip kad aš kažkokios didelės nuomonės neturiu kol kas, taip kad dar ir nėra sprendimų, kiek žinau, taip kad kol kas, kol nenuspręsta, tai aš ir nieko negaliu labai komentuoti.
The question was if the coach is interested in bringing Lamelo in his team for EuroLeague junior tournament, and the coach said he can't say anything right now, that Lamelo may harm the team or may be good, but it's tough to say because the coach, it's the first time for the coach when he saw Lamelo play.
labiausiai neramina tai, kad galbūt per daug avantūriškų sprendimų priima.
Nu, šiaip aš atvirai pasakius, aš daugiau žiūrėjau savo žaidimą, aišku, avantūriškai tikrai čia daugiau kaip šou tie sprendimai buvo ir man kartais jau, kaip mes mėgstam tą pozicinį ir daugiau apgalvotą krepšinį žaisti, tikrai buvo, man atrodo, čia visiems Lietuvoje matėsi, kad tokie sprendimai, kur sunkiai mums protų suvokiami buvo. Taip, kad aš nenorėčiau, kad mano komandai tokie būtų sprendimai puolime priimami.
The question was this decision because of Lamelo, how he plays, how he shoots the ball? And the coach said it was a bit unexpected for European and Lithuanian basketball to see such plays, but I can't say anything more.
Vat būtent, aš norėčiau pasidžiaugti daugiau, kad tuo labiau, kad mes esame lietuviai, tikrai Rokas gerai sužaidė, aišku, žinau, kaip jis treniruojasi, žinau, jau, mačiau jau daugiau kaip pusę metų jį turim pas save, taip kad tikrai jo galimybės didelės ir šiandien jis tą parodė ir kad jis net nepasimetė, o mėgavosi tuo žaidimu, tai tas labiausiai mane džiugina ir manau visus Lietuvos krepšinio mylėtojus tai džiugina.
The question was about Rokas Jokubaitis, and the coach said he's very happy about his game, that he's improving, and the team has him only for half a year, but he's improving every single day, and everyone is happy that Lithuania has such talent.
Galim sakyti, kad žalgiriečiai žaidė labiau užsivedę, kadangi kitų aikštės pusė buvo ir baldai ir visas tas rezultatas, kaip pradėjo motyvacijos?
Mūsų jaunai komandai, man atrodo, jeigu tam amžiui jau reikia motivacijos žaidžiant su LKL komanda, tai tada jau ne toj komandai tu esi, Žalgirį tau ne vieta. Taip, kad tikrai kažkokios papildomos, aišku, tas ažiotažas vaikinam tikrai darė įtaką, gal daugiau buvo įtampos negu to. O šiaip mes tikrai, kaip ir minėjau, ruošiamės savo kitai savaitei svarbus turnyras, mums laukia, žiūrėjom savo žaidimą ir daugiau norėjom kažką tai bandyti ir daugiau su tokia patyrusia komanda mums tikrai labai naudinga buvo pažaisti.
The question was if the team played more motivated because of playing with this Lithuanian Basketball League team, and the coach said these games are really helpful for preparing for the next tournament the team has next week, and it's a good experience for young players to play in this type of games.
Kontaktų lygiai nepasirodė, kad teisėjai davė labai daug kontaktų, tai buvo nepamatuoti Žalgirio komandai, kiek kartą kontaktą prieš bolus ir kaip jie kontaktavosi.
Aš tos dalykus tikrai čia yra draugiškas turnyras, nelabai ką galiu pasakyti. Jisai kaip leido, taip leido. Mums, sakau, dar pasikartosiu, dar geriau tokios rungtynės žais, kaip su tiek kontaktų. Tikrai tam turnyrą, manau, bus žymiai fiziškai varžovai silpnesni, taip kad buvom su tokiais stipriais ir su tiek kontaktų dar daugiau, manau, draugiškam turnyrai tik tai į naudą yra tas, taip kad aš net iš vis negalėčiau komentuoti apie tai.
The question was about the refereeing, and the coach said he doesn't want to comment on this, and he even said that it is better for the team to have these tough games before the upcoming tournament next week.